First of all, welcome everyone, speakers and guests today. And also, we are delighted to have you here to share and participate in the second biennial Landscapes of Identity Symposium, which this year acts as the trailblazer event for Manchester Histories Festival 2016. Thank you for coming. Having such a diverse audience today serves to remind us just how important our city and its histories are to all of us. Before we hear from the speakers, here is a brief overview of the symposium, providing some food for thought. Landscapes of Identity is a doctoral research at Manchester Metropolitan University, which I have been conducted for the past few years. It is based on my professional as well as my personal background and experiences, something I'm sure the majority of Manchester residents can identify with. I am a landscape architect by trade. I am a student, I work, and I volunteer for various art, music, and culture festivals and projects. I was born in Malaysia, and I am of a mixed ethnic background, Malay, Chinese, Middle Eastern, and Spanish. Having journeyed through a plethora of social and cultural experiences in ethnically diverse cities such as Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, and London, Manchester is my chosen place of residence. This year, 2016, not only marks the 20th anniversary of 1996 Manchester bombing, but also my 20 years of growing up and living in Manchester. What I tend to find is that there are two typical questions I get asked frequently from the non-residents. So what is it like to be from Manchester? You know, the football, the industrial city, and etc. On the other hand, the Manx tend to ask me, so where are you from? No, I mean, where are you from originally? So how do I define myself? What really is my personal identity? Is it based on my ethnicity, religion, the way I talk, class, or whichever passport I happen to have? And how does this personal identity relate to place identity? And why is this relation so important? The landscapes of identity are never static. The transitory nature of ethnically diverse cities such as Manchester results in an ever-changing mixture of cultural practices. Such a city contains individuals or group identities such as race, sexuality, gender, religion, as well as class, political, geographical, and social. Identity formation in such a city involves influences, experiences, trainings, and sources of inspiration that often amalgamate into a kind of multi-dimensional personal identity. According to environmental psychologists Proshansky, Fabian, and Karminov, place identity is defined as personal meanings or symbols of significance that places have for their residents, visitors, and users. Thus, place identity constitutes a component of personal identity that manifests in the way we as people feel we belong to a certain place. It allows us to develop effective bonds or attachments to these places that bring people together around shared values, issues, and localities. In urban planning and design, place identity has become a significant issue in the last 25 years. Concerns have arisen about the progressive deterioration of local values and loss of individualities and distinctiveness between different places due to the effects of globalization, new patterns in population movement, developments in transport, and advances in electronic communication. These events have accelerated the rates of change in urban morphology, transforming places in contemporary cities like Manchester. As a result of this rapid change, buildings, spaces, itineraries, customs, and behavioral patterns tend to homogenize and resemble one another, loosening the traditional ties between place and inhabitants. Data from the 2001 to 2011 census indicated that within this 10-year span, there was 198% increase in population growth rate in Manchester city centre. Cheetham Ward being the highest with 72.2%. The 2011 census also declared Cheetham Hill District Centre, which also happens to be my case study site, the most prominent global districts in the UK. The highest population increase within the city centre was in young people aged 20 to 25, with a 256% increase compared to the other wards. Yes, these results tells us that city is getting more diverse. This city is getting more diverse and younger very quickly. In rapidly changing urban conditions and increasingly diverse population growth, how do we articulate familiarity, that quality of at-homeness that we feel towards a person or place? In this virtually connected world, what does it now take to form a relationship between people and their physical environment? And how long would this attachment to place last? In the transforming and creative design process, it is an aim to make places highly distinctive or identifiable. However, this could either undermine the particular characteristics that the community regards as a critical part of their identity, or the same distinctiveness could reinforce or even create a new sense of identity. At the same time, a strongly identifiable place may not be the accepted identity to the individuals or accustomed to sameness. And this change could be seen as a threat to not just place identity, but their personal identity also. So, where is home for me? Where do I belong? Which ethnicity, nationality, or religion boxes do I tick come next census? What are the new challenges for you and me? Do we embrace identity with a sense of sameness or otherness? How do we map the rapid physical and social culture change within global cities to enable us to envision our future? What makes Manchester, Manchester? And what does it actually mean to be a Mancunian? This multidisciplinary symposium aims to encourage cross-disciplinary knowledge between professional, academics, and general public. Today, at this multifunctional National Football Museum, we welcome experts and academics from various fields who will be offering their professional and personal opinions on the perceptions of place identity and people in places, as well as the different approaches that they have utilized and will be utilizing in shaping the place identity of Manchester. Before I hand over to our chair, Phil Griffin, I would like to say thank you to Manchester History's Manchester School of Art, Manchester School of Architecture, Myriad, Manchester Metropolitan University, and National Football Museums for supporting this event. And once more, on behalf of all the collaborators, welcome. Looking forward to a great presentations, discussions, and debates. Thank you.